Evelyn, I've decided that you're going to teach me how to TikTok. I don't know if you know this yet, but
Let's do it. I'm an expert. And then you got to help me pick options for my new home because last night I was up
listen,
so late
I'm up for that
and I'm
barter.
stressing already. Oh my God, I need
No,
your
don't
help.
stress. Don't stress. It's easy peasy. I'm
Thanks.
I'm up for that barter. Tutelage on bringing this to a bigger audience, and I'll help you do your home.
That's
So
part of the
welcome,
reason that, yeah.
welcome. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Sacred Soulful Sundays, as always. Giving yourself, really, it's more about honoring yourself and giving yourself this time to take a pause and listen to your hearts. That's what this is all about. And it's amazing for me to lead this ship. I have to say, today, it's been a pretty powerful week. I don't know if all of you have felt it, but you know, so much is happening energetically. We've been talking about it for a while now, but I feel that it's come to kind of like the crescendo in the music. That's what I'm feeling. And the 1122 portal kind of is an anchor point that has opened, and it's going to carry us through to the end of this year. So I don't know if you're feeling it, but I certainly am. And because of that, I was just saying before we went live that I have like 7 pages in this journal, 5 pages in this journal. I'm like, okay, let me see if I can narrow this down because it's going to be an interesting one. Hi, Giselle. So who did I not say hi to? Because you come in and I don't see all of you, but hi to everyone that has joined us. And thank you for being here. Today's themes, I'm going to start with the themes and I'm going to get right into the nitty gritty because I do not want to miss out on sharing with you what is very important for you personally. Because a lot of this comes through for me as well as for you. And I have to kind of separate the 2 parts that are transmitted. So the first part was very pragmatic and very precise, but it began with actually yesterday as I meditated and sat outside where I usually sit to receive. And I started getting these numeric sequences, and then I started getting animals showing up, and then I started getting a very strong, distinct theme. And I'll go through the 3 of them. For me, it was 808, meaning, again, it comes up when I'm in this mode of really deeply channeling the transmissions that I am connected to. The 808, as you know, represents this infinity number, this continuity, these cycles. It's an angelic protection number. So the 808 came, and I knew that it was important, but more importantly, the information of the year that we're leaving behind and the year that we are moving towards. Numerically, the year that we are leaving behind is a 9. Okay, when you add up in numerology, the 2025, it adds up to a 9. And 9 is a number of completion. And that's exactly what is coming through as the death part of the cycle. Okay. The 2026 year is a 1 as we start over in this new cycle of beginning, of resurrection and rebirth. So look, I get chills as I speak about that because this is a distinct moment in time. The 1122 portal is bringing us back to 22, which is the master builder, the architect. 22, which isn't funny because it's the date of my husband's birth, 22. He is a master builder. He is someone that is an architect. And this energy of architecture and building and construction is very much what is happening right now. We are building and constructing our new everything. And I say everything because it's new on the external and it's new on the internal. But what's really important is that you recognize first and foremost what is new in the internal of you. What are you transitioning to? Where is your death and rebirth? This is the important message that has arisen for us to all hear at this moment in time. Why? Because as you do this work, we all rise. Okay? A high tide raises all ships. Does that make sense? So as we rise, we all rise. And this is such a beautiful metaphor because that is what's happening here. Now, it's timeline, the timeline of this rise is destined. This is a fated, destined moment in time. I can't emphasize that more. It's a must. It's an absolute. It's part of our cycle of evolution as humanity. Now, all of us being in this environment, this beautiful earth school that we live in, we have a free choice. We always have free will to decide at which point we remember who we are. Because we are remembering. We're not, it's not like we are in whole. It's not like we are half people. It's not like we are not perfect. We are in every way because God is perfect and we are part of God. So there is no such thing as lack of completeness, but there is a lack of memory. As we enter this moment in time, any lifetime, we forget for the purposes of being able to experience ourselves anew, for the purposes of growing our being from the inside out. Because you can't take a test if you already know the answers. What's the point? Right? So we are tested through the contrast of this 3D world, of this duality, of this polarity, so that we can remember what we are. But everything is cyclical. Everything is cyclical. We know this. We know that the seasons blend one into the other, and we can count on the sun rising and the sun setting. We can count on the cycles of the moon. These are cycles, and we are in a cycle of rebirth and death, because both of those are two sides of the same coin. You must die to be reborn. And our beautiful Christian philosophy starts with resurrection, right? He died to be reborn as a symbolic transition of our possibility. Does that make sense? That is the symbolism of the crucifixion and the resurrection. It's a death that we are assured a rebirth. But what are we birthing? What is dying in you? And what is being reborn? This is a very personal experience, guys. This is super, super personal. And I'm so happy that you're taking this moment, this pause in your life at this time, right now, to contemplate what this is. And I'm going to ask you some questions that this, my scribe, will write down, I hope. And if not, we will share it later. Because these are the questions that you must ask yourself so that you can traverse this time effectively, internally first. Because when you do this for yourself, you will be capable of helping others along. So when I was given these questions and when I was in the process, when I remember I told you that things showed up to tell me what to say, I was sitting meditating and I opened my eyes and I saw a vulture flying in the air. And before I knew it, there were 3 and there were 4 and there were 7 and there were 10 and there were 12. And all of a sudden I'm seeing all of these vultures floating in the air. And I'm saying to myself, wow, if that's not symbolic, I don't know what is. They were circling me and circling me. And I looked it up. I was like, wow, this is just too much to not to miss. And all of their symbolism, as you know, when you think of a vulture, you think of someone, you think of an animal that is here for a very distinct purpose. It cleans up what is dead, right? It has an incredible, it's even a disgusting, creepy kind of thing, but it's real and it's important. Without them, these death doesn't move on, doesn't get cleaned up, right? But they are also a symbol of wisdom. So those two things come together to provide us with what we need to move forward. The wisdom to clean up what is dead and no longer serves us. So these are the questions that I want you to think about. And this is why I called them the guardians of transition. What in my life is already dead, but I'm afraid to bury it? What truth have I been avoiding? That's a big one. What power have I been afraid to claim? Maritza, that one's for you, baby. What would I do if I wasn't afraid of judgment? That's another biggie. What would I do if I wasn't afraid of judgment? Who would I become if I stopped performing for others? Now, when you get a chance, because this is going to take some contemplation and quiet time, answer those questions for yourself. I can tell you that the answers to those questions became 7 pages for me. And they were surprising, and yet not. It was more of a remembering that I have arrived at a moment in time in which the time has come. You know how when you know when you know that the time has come? There's something about it, and being that we're mainly women here, and most of us, maybe not all of us, have had the experience of childbirth, right? There's a gestation that happens in life. In fact, there is a law of gestation. We know that when we put a seed into the ground, we can't just rip it up the next day. We have to wait. We have to be patient. And that's what birthing is about. But we know that more or less it takes a certain amount of time, a cycle. A cycle has to come through. Sometimes that cycle is interrupted and sometimes that cycle is protracted. But in reality, more or less, it has a cycle of gestation that occurs. And it forces us to be patient, to wait for the right moment of knowing, to wait for the contractions to begin. And if we think of birthing, and even if you haven't had children, I'm sure you've seen plenty of them on TV, that birthing sucks. Like, it's painful. You go through all kinds of contortions to be able to produce this incredible new thing, new life. So the death and rebirth cycle is something that is a must. It's destined. It's once that begins, there's no turning back. You can't be a little pregnant. It's not a partial thing. It's a commitment. So we are all actually pregnant with this cycle that is about to be birthed. And we feel it. We know it. I can't describe it. It's something that we know is happening within us. We're no longer who we were. We have gone through a lot. We have become the wise women. We have evolved to be the timeline shifters, the beacons, the way showers, whatever you want to call it. That's what we are becoming. So what I asked after I received these questions is, what would you have me build? And what would you have me create? That was my big question. Because most of the time I spent my life directing that ship, saying, I want this. I want that. I need this. I need that. And I'm going to get it. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to manifest it. And I'm going to create it. But this time, I asked the question differently. This time, I surrendered. I ask, what would you have me build? What would you have me create? This is the difference, the shift. The shift in me was the surrender to let go of control. And I'm going to read to you a little bit about my personal answers. Let me see if I can grab little bits and parts, because it was a lot. Because what was dead in me was the identification with the egoic side of my career as an interior designer. Let me repeat that. What was dead in me was the identification with the egoic side of my career as an interior designer. That was the answer to the question, what in my life is already dead? Now, I don't want you to think about this in a way that I'm letting go, that's it, I'm closing shop, I'm never going to be an interior designer again. That is not what I mean. What I mean is, I have realized that it's time for me to declare what I have become. And it began this week, ironically, with a lunch that I had with my mom and my sister. I made a declaration and I said, I would like for both of you to see me for who I am now and not for who I was then, when you learned how to treat me and behave around me. I want you to see me And who I am is not the egoic interior designer. And I want you all to know, those of you that know me, in fact, those of you that have been my clients, know that I have struggled with this fact my entire life, right? The egoic world of interior design, which it can be it can be very arrogant and pretentious and separating and elusively exclusive, all those things, luxury, wealth, eliteness. In fact, my TED Talk speaks to that journey that I went through, that dark night of the soul. But this is at another level for me personally, because I am declaring that I am ready to be something else. Can I be something else is what I wrote. Can I call myself something else? What identity and label suits me now? These were the questions that arose in me. And can I claim my new self as a channeler of spiritual wisdom? Am I ready to step into this new life? What does that look like, God? How does that fit into my life? What would you have me do? Or better yet, be? Am I worthy? Am I ready? I ask to please show me the way. And I humbly ask to be guided by you and your very gracious hand. Because I don't want to control this journey. I know that I'm afraid to bury the old identity that served me for so long. But I don't yet see what the new me is becoming, or maybe already is. Is it true that I am no longer the old me? The old me, how ironic, as I turn the corner of my 50s and enter my 60s officially, that I am asked to leave behind the youthful me. And the older and wiser me is emerging. My physical body is older. My emotional and spiritual body is younger and ready to be the baby of a new life. This is what I wrote for myself. And I share it with you, my beautiful community of women that support me and know my journey. And I feel comfortable enough to do this live to the community that might hear it. Because if I don't declare it with confidence, I'm afraid it's not real. But it is very real. So the fear of leaving behind what you may have been or are afraid to face or feel is incredibly important at this time for all of us. It's very important that we face our truth, that we know our truth, and that we become our truth. So this very personal journal is full of a lot. And it's not just me, it's you too. I'll read you a little bit more. I mourn today the death of my past suffering. Some of this might resonate with all of you. How strange to feel this sadness over the familiarity of hurting. Hurting, this is very important declaration that we can all make. Hurting no longer serves me. I realize my old habits that held the painful memories of my former lives, the beliefs that held meaning, no longer need to exist. Now, these are the beliefs that I personally might have held, and maybe some of them resonate with you. The belief that life has to be hard to be meaningful, that my perception that the harder it is, the more worth it has. The struggle is natural and necessary, that love must always accompany pain, and that it has to be earned, that we don't have enough, that there is not enough for all of us, that scarcity, lack, and limitation exist, that life is hard work and is hard, that money is hard to come by, that there is never enough to go around, that you can't have it all, love, money, and happiness, that your family is only the blood relatives and not all who feel close to you. And most importantly, that love is limited. These beliefs and many others must give way and crumble into the rubble of my past in order to plant the seeds of new growth, and I must clear the field. Growth does not have to be through suffering and pain, and it can be through joy. The joy of living and of being alive, the privilege of this life. Gratitude for being the miracle of you in this moment as you are. That each and every life is precious and meaningful, and that each one of us is interwoven into the tapestry of all that is. I offer myself to you, God. Help me to realize my true and new self as you would have me be. I surrender to the highest truth and version that I am to become. Whatever that may look like or be called in this world, you will create the container that holds my soul in perpetual joy as I vow to honor it now and through eternity. I am the light that serves. Help me to shine.
I really need to say something. Can you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, you just make me cry. Happy Sunday. What the heck? On top of that, I cried the whole week already. So thank you very much. But you could not say the words that came out of your mouth. I said she just need to be like connecting with something that is just shaking my ass because vulture is el condor, and it's a retreat that I wanted to do since last year in Arequipa in Peru, and it's about taking women to the deepest canyon on the world. And el condor represents the transformation of the rebirth. And when I went there to find the place and where we're gonna stay and all this stuff, I did have transformation, the most beautiful, magical transformations. And then I came back to my life and I forgot about it. And I keep moving. And I said, I don't have time for that. And I was with shamans there. And I have so much information that I received, but I put all that part of what I love to do in a third place in my life.
Mm.
And as you see, so funny enough that you said, I was talking to one of the people that are going to help me do that, and I had a dream about it. And the in the condor life, what the vulture is, when a female when a male loses his partner, he hides to find wisdom through the rocks of the canyon. He never remarry. He never start a family again. No, he hides under. But when the women ponder loses their partner, she suffers and she loses her feathers to the point that she stripped the peak out of her face and then she dies. Of course, a woman has to be dramatic, I said. But the reason why is because she lost the love of her life and she doesn't want to hide. She just wants to show the emotion. So metaphorically, how beautiful it is, because women in general, we have hardened our hearts so much that we have hide our emotions. And at the end of the day, that thing kill us in a very metaphorical way.
Yes.
So I was like, oh my God, we're going to the condors. And I put the motion in it. And then in between Thursday and Friday morning, I've been fighting it again. I said, I don't have time for that. This is not whatever, I need to focus in this. But that's so I've been talking to my shaman, my shaman. And this morning you came into my thing. And then the freaking condors, the vultures were coming. And that's exactly where I said, like, what's happening right here? But anyway, I'm just feel like I'm starting this la chispita, when you are about to turn something on. And that's how I feel is happening for me. So thank you for the classes that you're doing. Mama B, I always say thank you for giving us such a beautiful gift, which is your daughters, Michelle and B. But we're going to Arequipa, baby.
Well, I'm so happy that you know that you and I have had conversations this week and how important this week has been for you. Um, this is exactly what this conversation is about. It's a very solemn one. And the second transmission that came in this morning, which I will share as well, is very important too, because you can't find these answers in the external world. Okay? Whatever answers to the questions that I gave you will come from a very quiet, calm, peaceful moment. It doesn't have to be meditation. You just have to find the quiet within when you answer these questions, because whatever you need to know will be revealed to you personally. For Maritza, it happened to be that these vultures circling me provided the message that initiated a deep remembrance of who she really is, which I've always known, by the way. I know who she is. I know what she's about, and she keeps denying her power. She keeps doubting it. She keeps fearing it. Because for the same reason that I just confessed what I wrote, we all suffer from imposter syndrome. Some of us feel it more than others. If we are meant to be leaders, yes, it takes courage to embrace what you are embracing. Yes, it does. It's scary. I have been answering that question, what are you? What do you do? For 4 decades. It's a habit. The first thing that comes out of my mouth is, I'm an interior designer. But my moment now is that what I am? And yes, maybe you could metaphorically translate that and that I design your interiors too. And maybe that's the transition that I need to make. But the truth is that I'm the one that has to declare that I am different, that I have remembered who I am. And all of you are in that space too, because if not, you wouldn't be on this call. You wouldn't be drawn and called to give this moment in time your attention, listening to these words and internalizing them and embodying them And just like we all go through this moments, like Maritza was saying, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to be spiritual, but we don't really have a choice at this point. Just a little tip. Because what you resist will continue to persist. And you can no longer resist what you are, which is the light. It's what you came here for. It is why you have traversed so many lifetimes to be at this moment right now. And what's beautiful about this is that this is cyclical, not just for your internal world. It is also for the external world that will be showing up in this #1 year of 2026. It's only the beginning, by the way, of this new cycle. It's only the starting point, but you will feel it. And between now and February of next year, you will be emerging out of the chrysalis as the butterfly. Your wings will start to emerge. But it's very important to clear the path. Like what I mentioned, I have to, before you plant a seed, you have to clear the ground, correct? You have to till the soil so that you can plant the seed in fertile ground. And that is what we're doing right now. So I'll read the next part of the transmission because that's what came in today. As we come to the end of the cycle and begin a new one, we see the closing of old and outdated ideas, both in our external world and in our internal world. Something new is emerging, but we still cannot see it clearly. It is unfolding gracefully in the distance, and we await its arrival with calm anticipation. In fact, calm and peaceful is the energy we must channel at this time. The buzz of anxiety is now subsiding, and although the world around us may still have the buzz of urgency, we can somehow temper our energy within. Going within is imperative at this time. We will remind you at the times that this is the key. At this time, this is the key to your own discovery, to the discovery of your new self, and therefore your new purpose. It has become quite evident within you that you are no longer the same person you were just a mere few years ago. And yet, we often cling to the familiar and the certainty of the past for that reason. It is time to shed whatever is not serving your highest and greatest good, and the greatest good of all. Whatever may be expired in your life must be purged at this time to make space for the new version of you. It is both a physical and an etheric declaration. It may require the spoken word, the I am statement to be invoked. What are you now? Who are you now? How are you now? You must declare, I know who I am in truth. For there will be no room for lies that you have told and convinced yourself of, or maybe there is an authentic concepts of that were handed down to you from others. Are they still valid? This you must ask now. Do not drag the burdens the weight of inauthenticity to the next grandest version of you, no matter what. As rebellious as this act may seem, trust in your heart's intuition as it will rise up to show you the way. For some of you, it may be a new job, a new home, a move towards a new desired activity, a new health and body regimen, or a new partner. Whatever the calling, Heed it, for it will not be suppressed as before by the logic and egoic mind. The desire for a new you will become a relentless clarion call, waking you to the remembrance of your soul's calling and a knowing of what you came here for. How grand this new journey, which you will all traverse, is going to be. This is only the beginning of it, and you will be amazed by what is possible in your reality. The phoenix arises from the ashes, and death by fire was necessary for its path to wholeness. Embrace the upcoming journey with happy anticipation, and most of all, surrender to trust. Trust in your heart that they are all sufficiently open to hear the voice within. How blessed you are to have arrived. Celebrate it now as your rituals of celebration help you to close this year with love, grace, charity, and generosity. Be kind to yourself and to those around you, and you will be rewarded with the same reciprocity of energy in return. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. That was today. And I feel it. I feel it so strongly in my whole body and my whole soul. I hope you do too. I hope you feel the truth in your hearts. And like it said, it may not be apparent yet, okay? You just have to give it space. Give it the space to come through. I can't believe, look, he's a man. What happened? He grew up.
He's home from college, so he's not.
I see that, but it's like, ¿y ese hombre quién es? Wow. I was doing his room just a few mere years ago, right? His
dying bee. He's dying.
What is he though? No embarrassment, babe. No. Anyway, just think about that. Like, how many years ago did I do your home, Lily? And how different life was then. How different is life now? This is a beautiful thing. It is so beautiful to see how we have grown and evolved. All of you are different. And like I said, the energy is calling us to purge whatever doesn't work anymore. And listen, for me personally, it's been everything. My hair, my color, my clothing, my shoes. Every day I throw something out because I just feel like, oh, this doesn't work anymore, right? I don't want to be in tight, skinny jeans. Get these out of here. Stupid things like that. Seriously. And you know what's really beautiful about that is that it acknowledges the fact that we are in this 3D world. There is nothing wrong here. We are here existing in this very physical world for a reason. And it's a beautiful thing to acknowledge that whatever you had before in the physical, it may be an article of clothing, it may be a way that you fix your hair, it may be whatever it is okay to look at it with new eyes and say, this doesn't work anymore. You get it? So do whatever you are called to do. We aren't just what we do for a living. Our talent doesn't necessarily need to define us entirely. Yes, we are more than the answers that may come at different times in life. Yes, Linda, yes. We are much, much more. We are much, much more. And what I want to inspire in you is to let your heart lead the way. What you most need to purge is the beliefs that no longer serve you. That is what is begging to be purged. All those beliefs that I read to you are mine. If they resonate with you, read them again. Which one are you still holding on to? What lack, scarcity, and limitation is holding you back? Yes, Lily.
How beautiful what you're saying. Did you know that the year of 2025, which is a 9 in numerology completion, like you said, is also the year of the snake? And I happen to keep this from this week. I'm going to put it on the group chat. It's I kept it from somewhere that I saw it, but basically 2025 is the year of the snake. This has been a shedding year. The universe has been showing you what you need to let go of. Whatever you hold on to will block your blessings in 2026. The reason you had to let go is because you're not aligned with it anymore. Whatever you lost taught you something. Reflect with gratitude. This is before today. This is from this week. Setting is making space for authentic joy and blessing. But here's the best part that I love with everything we said. 2026 is in numerology a 1, fresh beginning, and it happens to be the year of the horse. And it stands for, in Chinese astrology, the year of the horse is known for energy, movement, independence, and bold action. It's one of the most dynamic zodiac years, often associated with rapid change and forward momentum. So
Wow.
I just had to throw that in here because with everything that I wrote down that you have said today. So
Thank you for sharing that, Lily, because like I said, I know what I know, and I've gotten to a place where I just listen. I write down what comes through without any research, and you just confirmed what I know to be true. But what's beautiful about this is that each of us has this intuition within us. We have so much capacity to know what's happening within. We have to just create the space for it. And we often get caught like Maritza. Oh, I don't have time for that. You know, God knows, with 2 babies like she has that are growing very quickly, who would have the time? Okay. But I can tell you that if you take a moment like you are today, I'm so proud of all of you for showing up today, because this is a new beginning that is showing up. We can't see what it looks like. And what it mentioned here is that it's somewhere in the distance. We can't, it's kind of blurry yet, you know, we don't know what that's going to look like, but we have to trust that it's coming, and that we can make space by letting go of what doesn't serve us. That shedding, yes, that shedding of, like shedding the skin of the snake. And it's not by coincidence that the snake is a Kundalini symbol. It's not a coincidence that it's also the symbol for healing. The snake spiraling up to wings is a very symbolic animal. So are we going to get on that horse next year? Are we going to ride it forward?
We better, otherwise I don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. We have to. It's almost like it's destined. We know and we feel in our hearts that we are designed for this. No pun intended. We are ready. Yes, Mom.
You forget that the sign of the snake, which is the sign of the doctor with the 2 snakes intertwined,
Yes.
is also all your DNA.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. That is also the symbol, that spiral that goes up. We have traversed the cycle. We're ready to spread our wings and fly like the butterfly. And we have been in progress. We have been. And listen, for that, I said it last week, for the caterpillar, it must be scary as hell to be in that little cocoon waiting to emerge. Death to the caterpillar is birth to the butterfly. But that transition of void, unknowing, is very scary for all of us. We cling to the familiar past because it's habitual. And what all of this is saying is it's time to trust that everything is going to be fine. And the more we're capable of letting go of the old, both in the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, we have to let go of what doesn't work any longer. So clear out your closets, both metaphorically and physically. Let it go and prepare yourself for the new beginning that is coming. It's going to be quite a ride. And like everything in this beautiful duality of Earth School, we're going to experience some turbulence. And I've said it before, it's not going to be smooth sailing, but we will sail. We will. It is a destiny. And I don't usually say that because, as you know, everything is emerging as we collectively rise. Okay? But the timeline from everything that I feel myself, from what I am being told, from everyone out there in the zeitgeist is it's here. We're no longer waiting for this to happen. But like everything, each and every one of us has to express this belief, this new belief, that there is no such thing as lack, scarcity, and limitation. When we declare that there is no such thing as lack, scarcity, and limitation, when we say, this is my truth, we initiate the collective consciousness to believe that. Does that make sense for all of you? That's how important you are. Every thought turns to things. And your thoughts matter. And your thoughts coming directly from your heart matter most. So learn to listen to those and bypass the ones that come from the fearful mind. Because the ego will scare you. Your mind will play tricks. It'll say, oh, no, don't go. What do you mean? We can't pay the rent if I do that. If I create a retreat, I won't have the money to pay my rent. That's what it'll do. It'll say that. When your heart is saying, whoa, go. So learn to listen to the heart. It's scary, but it has to become a habit. And if there's any good habit that I want you to embed, is learning to listen to yourself. You don't need a guru. You don't need a shaman. You don't need a priest. You don't need anybody to tell you what your heart does, because your heart will not lie to you. Your heart is always deeply connected to God. Period. Who needs, if you want to be reinforced by a priest or a shaman or a guru, go for it. If you need that extra oomph to believe it, fine, perfect, do it. But you don't need it because you know the truth. You know it. There's no lying to your heart. Your heart always tells the truth. And it's that line that I had here. Let me see. I have so many pages here that it's getting a little crazy. Oh, for there will be no room for lies that you have told and convinced yourself of. Or maybe these inauthentic concepts of you were handed down to you from others. Heed that. There's no lying within you. You always know the truth. Trust it. Now more than ever, that channel is open. That portal is ready. Cross over. As we enter into this week of grace, of Thanksgiving, let's take a moment to bless all of those that touch our lives, that we will be able to share time with, to give love to express our devotion. It is the most important thing that exists. Friends, family, community. This time of year is special because we actually collectively take a moment of pause. It's a beautiful thing when you're given permission, because this is what happens. We're given permission to pause collectively. How wonderful is that? We're like, yeah, you get to take the day off and make a turkey. Yay. So take that moment and bless it with peace and calm for yourself. Give yourself the gift of a pause. Don't be rushing the whole time. I invite you to wake up this week when we know we're going to have to get everything ready for everyone, because that's what we do. Women are like that. And just take a moment to bless yourself. Honor yourself with a moment of pause before you rush to Publix, okay? And make the stuffing or do whatever it is that you do. It's so important to find that calm within, because that's where the answers lie. And I hope that you do spend a moment to answer these questions that I've posed, because for me, they were incredibly telling. Thank you for coming together today. I bless you all. I thank you, especially for believing in my ability to transmit the words that come through me. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Thank
everybody.
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Grateful
Thanksgiving.
for all.
Bye.
Thank you all. And
Thanksgiving.
thank you so much
Have
for
a-
these beautiful words on the chat. I really love them. Thank you so much. Thank
Lily,
you,
I can wait for your resume today.
Lily, no pressure at all, baby. You have been anointed my personal scribe. I don't know how that happened, but
It'll be my pleasure. I am grateful for all of you. Thank you for today. Thank you for every day.
thank you.
Have a
Thank
very,
you.
very healthy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Yes.
Likewise.
Thank you, Mom.
Love you,
too.
mommy.
Bye-bye. I love you.
Bye.
Bye. Namaste.
Grateful for you.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Big, I can't thank you enough. Your transmissions were so on point. Like,
Thank
like,
you. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you. That
I-
means so much to me. I
yeah,
appreciate you so much.
I feel it every single time. It's like exactly what I'm going through as well. And it's just like how could this be? And it's just extra confirmation, like believe and trust, and you know, it's gonna be okay, and everything's gonna work out. So
It's that you know where you need to be and what you need to hear, and you know when the truth comes. That's all. It's so beautiful to see that. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us, Giselle. I
No,
appreciate you
thank you
greatly.
for doing this and showing up for us with full energy, full sharing mode. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Just you, me, and Deb.